Hiya.
Hello, hop in. This is Charlotte. She'll be doing her driving lesson with me today, but she'll also be helping me demonstrate 2 different teaching methods a driving instructor may use. And I'd like you to let me know in the comments which one you would prefer. Just going to take the wheel there because you nearly hit the curb. Okay, at the end of the road, please go left. So I had to take the wheel there. The first teaching style I'm going to demonstrate is coaching, and then later on I'll demonstrate the more traditional style of instructing. Okay, Charlotte, I had to take the wheel back there. Do you know why?
Nearly hit the curb.
Yes, you did nearly hit the curb. Were you aware that you were about to hit the curb as I took the wheel?
No, I wasn't actually.
Is there any reason why that may have happened? Do you know why you may have steered over there?
No, I'm not really sure.
All right, try and cast your mind back now. Try and remember. Remember the situation. There's a bend. It's narrow. Oncoming car?
Yeah, I think I got distracted by the car, maybe.
This is something that's happened before, isn't it? So this is
Yeah.
something we are practicing, and you're doing really well up to that stage. While I was like quiet, I was thinking, oh, you've got this. And at the end, you steered towards the curb, and then I had to take the wheel. You sort of steered a bit too much.
Yeah.
So next time we're faced with that situation, what can you do differently?
Maybe focus on driving the car in my position rather than the
classic mistake
hazard.
of focusing on the hazard
Yeah.
instead of the solution of where you can go, and then you steered too much away from the hazard.
Yeah.
So you seem to, we've done this before, you seem to know roughly what you're doing there. So on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being confident, if you were to come across that situation again, where would you put yourself on that scale?
Maybe 6.
6? Okay, well that's quite confident. I mean,
Yeah.
try and improve that. Is there anything I can do to help you next time we come across that situation?
No.
Not sure? Okay, let's say you're the instructor. You're sitting here, I'm the pupil, and the goal is you don't want to leave it to the stage where you have to take the wheel.
No.
What would you do for me?
Maybe just guide you through the situation, talk you through it.
Yeah, you tell me where to focus maybe, and
Yeah.
I can do that for you then. Well, let's go. Let's do it.
Cool.
Let's go. I'm now going to demonstrate instructing, the more traditional way of helping a person learn to drive. Okay, Charlotte, I had to take the wheel there. Do you know why?
So I nearly hit the curb.
You did nearly hit the curb.
Yeah.
Now, were you aware of why you may have done that? Well, it's because of the oncoming car. Do you remember we've had lessons before when I've asked you not to focus on the oncoming car? Yeah?
Yeah.
Focus on the gap. Don't worry, it's normal.
Okay.
This is what learner drivers do. Pretty much all learners I help do the same thing. They focus on the hazard instead of the solution. So they steer away from the hazard too much and end up hitting another hazard. So it's just about practicing, focusing on that space that you have to use. Now, do you remember any way to help judge the width of your car? What I've told you in the past?
It's kind of like the copying and pasting technique,
Yeah?
where you just like take the card that's either parked or coming towards you and see if it fits in the gap.
Exactly. So that way, if the oncoming car can fit in the space next to it, then you can fit in the space next to it, because cars are within about 20 centimetres of width of each other. If it's on the borderline though, don't risk it. This is like just to give you an idea. Oh yeah, that car can easily fit in that gap. Then we should be able to fit in the gap as well. Do you want me to refresh your memory, or do you want to remind me of any other ways you can judge whether or not you can fit through a gap?
You can refresh my memory.
Do you remember the steering wheel width one? The width of your steering wheel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's about the width of the your car. So if you look at your steering wheel now, how much of the road your steering wheel is taking up, that's how much of the road the car is taking up. It's hard to believe that because the steering wheel,
strange.
I know, the steering wheel's this big, isn't it? But the car is like, you know, massive in comparison, but it's just perspective. What you can see is far away, so the lane looks tiny compared to your car, but it's actually usually about the width of your steering wheel. And to judge if you're in the center of the gap, which knee?
Left.
Exactly. You put your left knee, if you're driving on this side in a different country, it's your right knee. But you put the knee that's closest to the middle of the car in the middle of the gap. Don't focus too much on the sides, because if you focus on one side, you either get too close to that side or too close to the other side. That's the thing I usually see. People go, right, if I get really close to the left here, the right should miss. Then you're hoping, aren't you? It's probably not that, and you're really close to one hazard and really far from the other, or you're not really focusing. It's best just to go in the center. So focus on the center of the gap, left knee in the center of the gap. If it's so narrow that you're not sure, that's when you look at the sides. But then you're doing like 1-2 miles per hour and you're creeping through, checking that wing mirror is going to miss, that wing mirror is going to miss, like this, both sides all the time. But if you're sailing through at 5-10 plus miles an hour, the gap should be big enough that you don't need to look at the sides.
Okay.
So should we try it again?
Let's go for
The
it.
first thing I want you to do though, like you did that time, which you actually did pretty well, slow down, just to remind you of that. And you did that. I'm very pleased you did that. You saw the hazard, you slowed down. That took away most of the danger. That's why I was feeling confident and I was thinking, oh, you've got this. You just steered too much. And I had to take that wheel. I didn't want to damage my tyres or the wheel. Or the wheel, you know, not this wheel. The wheel outside.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd just save my car. Okay, let's get going then.
Let's go.
The way I tend to do things though is more amalgamation of both of them. When I first got into instructing, coaching was fairly new and I went straight into that. But as I've got more experience, I found I've become more of an instructor than a coach. But I still use coaching to help my pupil think for themselves and take responsibility for their own driving, but I also like to give advice based on my experience as an instructor and not expect my pupil to figure it out for themselves so much. This is more how I like to do things. So Charlotte, you nearly hit the curb there. You made me take the wheel. What are you trying to do? So were you aware of that situation? Were you aware it was going to happen when I took the wheel?
No.
Any idea why that happened? And you already know now because we've already gone through it twice, haven't we? So yeah, you know, don't you?
Yeah.
Just explain to me anyway. Come on, I want to know what happened.
So I got distracted by the oncoming car.
Yep.
And just lost concentration of actually controlling the
That's
vehicle.
right. That's a common issue. As I say, don't worry about it. Don't take it personally. Oh, I'm a rubbish driver. I'm never going to be able to do this. That's what learners do. Okay, you just have to get used to it, and it's just normal fear. I think you're probably worried about the oncoming car. You don't want to hit the oncoming car. You see it, and you're like, oh, well, let's move away from that thing. And the curb is so much smaller, isn't it? So you're less worried about the curb. But you know why we don't want to hit the curb?
So that damage the tyres.
Yes, good. And damaging the tyres, that is a problem. That's not, oh, it's just tyres.
Yeah.
Do you know why it's important not to damage those tyres? I have told you before, but do you remember?
Refresh my memory again.
Okay, no worries. If you pinch the sidewall, that can cause a weakness, and then that can basically, I was going to say blow out or fall apart at speed. You're going at speed and the tyre can just fail on you essentially, and you get bits of rubber going everywhere and you can lose control of the car. So it's really important to look after your wheels and tyres. Also, if you damage your tyres, also your wheels, it doesn't look very good, which is not nice. But if you damage the rim, it can mean that your tyre can't seal properly and you always have air leaking out. So look after those wheels and tyres. I think we should practice again.
Okay.
We'll try and find some more situations like that.
Cool.
And is it okay for me just to point out where you should be looking?
Yeah.
Try and encourage you to look at the space, not at the hazard. When you get confident, as confidence grows, you'll find it easier. Just takes a bit of practice.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
I'm now demonstrating how I'd help Charlotte deal with parked cars on the move. So, see the parked car up there on the left? Can you see past it?
No.
Anything you can do to help yourself improve your view?
see and be seen.
Yeah, see and be seen. Good, you're checking your mirrors. So you move out early, that way you can see them, they can see you. You have more time to deal with each other, more time to come back and get out of the way if you need to. You don't want to leave it to the last minute, or last second, should I say, and get to the car and jump out like a jack in a box. Surprise, here I am, hiding behind the car, and then I'm going to jump out. And then remember, before we move back, check that cyclist, good. Look, most learners do that. They think being on their side of the road is safer, even if it means they can't see. But being seen is safer if there's no one coming. Try and see the line in the middle. Can you see it's really faded?
I know, I can't really see it that well.
Yeah, it's just about it. That usually means a hazard. Slow down a bit more. Can you see the other line?
It's a giveaway line.
Giveaway, isn't it? All right, we're going to go right, please. You are paying me by the hour, you know, so you want to get your money's worth. So slow down. Don't look over the bend. Look forwards. Use your half of the road. She looked over the bend there and steered too early.
Oops.
End of the road, please go left. So I nearly took the wheel there, didn't I? I don't know if you noticed, but when you went round that bend, my hand sort of went for the wheel. Because what you did, do you know what you did on that bend? You looked across the bend to try and see what was coming. But what that did was it meant you steered too much. You were going to cut across the other side of the road and go around that bend in the middle of the road.
Oh no.
Again, another normal, common problem. If you look across the bend, you will cut the bend.
Yeah.
Now, many people say you've got to look far when you're driving, but that's not really true. You need to look everywhere.
Yeah.
You need to look mostly, actually, within the space you're trying to drive. So if you've got a sharp right-hand bend, your vision wants to be on that bend, making sure you go around it in your half. But when you've got a long straight, that's when you want to look further. There's nothing wrong with looking over the bend to see what's round it, but it shouldn't be your focus. And I think once I told you to look where you were going, your positioning did get better, and I no longer needed to take that wheel. So just focus on that. I'll try and point it out to you if you do it again, but bear that in mind.
Okay.
Where should you keep your vision? That's the question I'm asking you now. Testing you now, aren't I?
Yeah, I don't like being tested.
Yeah, where should you be looking most of the time? Within your lane or half of the road.
Yeah.
Glance across the grass or across the other side of the road, but try and keep your view in your half of the road. Okay, move away when you're ready, please. Clutch up in a second and just stay off the gas, and it will pull you along at 7 miles an hour. Now cover the brake and clutch, and now walk up to the middle and try not to go past those white markings. That's it. Very good. Now make sure you don't steer too much. Look at the space you have and steer into your space. That's it. That way you're not hitting that island in the middle. You're looking at the space that you have to use. That's really what you're doing when you're driving. You're looking at where you can go and you're looking at where you can wait.
Okay.
You're not looking at the problems. See the space? Is that big enough for you?
Yeah.
Can you fit the oncoming car in the gap? I think you can. I think you can make it a bit more clear that you're intended to go through here, though. If you're staying left a bit long, and you're a little bit too generous, I'd have come out a bit more so you had more distance from the parked cars in case they open the door. Traffic lights are likely to go left. Good. You can signal. And that's it, yeah. Can you see the bend here? Make sure you go round that.
Okay.
Don't cut across it. You have aimed at the curb a little bit there as you were stopping. I don't think you were focusing on your bend up there.
Okay.
So you want to try and go around that as you're steering towards the curb. Check your left mirror here. Good, that's better. Yep, go around that, around the yellow lines as well. Got parked cars on both sides. Can you see the space next to the oncoming cars that you can use?
Yeah.
Yeah, so slow down now, brake a little bit. Is the van going to wait for you?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. You can see his wing mirrors. He can see you. So he's waiting. You're slow enough as well, ready for them. I'm just going to hold the wheel. You hold it as well, because you're positioning yourself a little bit more left. I recommend being about here, nice doors width, and take half of your space.
Okay.
It's quite normal for learners to be as left as much as they can be and give all the room to the oncoming cars, but you're increased danger that way because doors open from the left and people step out. So slow it down, look at that gap, now take half, ask for half. That's it. Now the oncoming cars know what you need and they will take their half. The more you go left, the more space they're going to take. Why not roll out the red carpet? Now brake a bit more to the right, ask for your half, a bit more brake, slow down more because it looks really narrow, more brake. Might help you here a little bit with the brake. That's it, this sort of speed now, because this is really narrow now. I'm just holding the wheel because you're getting a bit close to these cars.
Okay.
So that was a really narrow one. You might have to stop if it's too narrow.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to stop. Because it was a little bit of a question mark. I think we could fit, but very slow. See the gap now? Better to get there after the bus.
Yeah.
If you can get to the hazard when it's gone, that's better. Again, a bit close to that parked car. Remember, you should feel like that van's going to open its door. Slow down now, brake, use that brake. Brake more, slow down, feel like someone's going to walk out from behind that van. You've got to be ready for it. Yeah, that feels better because you were slower. You were close to the van, but you were slow.
Okay.
Can you see the driver's face on the left?
Yep.
So they can see you. That's a better position. Now I'd like to take the next road on the left, please.
Cool.
It's a very short road. At the end of it, you'll be turning left again. So look at the space you've got to use. You don't cut the corner. Slow down, go to walk. Got a lot of steering to do here, so if you walk, you'll have more time. Is it safe?
Mm-hmm.
See the parked cars up there?
Mm-hmm.
Take half your... In fact, just go in the middle now. It's narrow enough that you should just be in the middle, maximum distance from both sides, which is the danger.
Okay.
Uphill, you want to change gear later. See the speed limit on the road?
20.
See the hazard warning line?
Mm-hmm.
So this is crossroads here. So keep following the road ahead. So clutch down, first gear. You want to ride the clutch in second. Who's priority?
Oh, just let me go.
Carry on slowly and carefully then. There we go. It's actually more our priority than theirs because they're turning in front of us. I'm just going to slow you down a little bit. So look how close we are to that car. See how close you are there? If you're that close, I want you this slow.
Okay.
Or don't be that close.
Okay.
Now your car, you carry on now. See these cars? Someone's going to step out and open a door. Do you need to be close to them right now? Is there anything wrong with you being here? A full doors width. Is that causing anyone danger?
No.
Now you've got a narrow gap. Now you have to go slow and go through that narrow gap. Go through the middle, left knee in the centre. That's it. That's better. You're near this car, but you're slow, so I'm not too displeased about that. Now move out and get away from the car. There's no need to be near that car anymore, so we won't stay there. And then go up a gear. What's coming up? What sort of junction? End of the road. Left. See the give way line? That means you've got to give way. So we call this the end of the road. So end of the road, you're going left. Just stop for a moment, please. It says road ahead closed, but I think we can go that way, so we're going to turn right again. So carry on when you're ready, please.
So we're turning right.
We're going left,
okay.
but we'll turn right shortly afterwards. So I think we can go down here, even though it says road ahead closed, we should be okay. Now next road on the right, please. So look forwards as well, keep a good position. So there you're looking right too much, and as a result your position was going a bit too left of that road. So you want to look ahead and right. Can you see the line in the middle?
I see the give way sign.
Yes, good. So what is this then? What kind of junction?
Another crossroad?
It is. We'll go left. You got the give way sign, the give way line. Good, I'm glad you're walking. So, is it safer to be near the van or in the middle?
In the middle.
That's right, yeah. That's better. I feel more comfortable here because we've got more distance from both sides. Is there any oncoming car? Was there an oncoming car? When we were back there, was there someone coming towards you? Is there someone coming towards you now?
No.
No, so go in the middle. Use that space. The danger is from the left and the right.
Okay.
There's no danger from ahead at the moment. You see the lines painted on the road now? You don't have to follow them for driving. You shouldn't follow them for driving.
Okay.
They're for traffic warnings. They're for where you should park and shouldn't park, for tickets. So after these road works, check your mirrors for cyclists, and get back to your half of the road for the bends. Go over these white lines now, steer it back to your half, because there's no need to be in the middle now.
No.
What's round the bend?
Don't know.
Good speed. I feel safe. I feel like if something's around this bend, we're not going to hit it. You'll stop in time. And end of road right. Oh, it says road head closed to the right. Okay, we're going to have to go left then. End of the road left. I assume the road would be closed on the left there, but it's not. So walk. Coming out on the wrong side, so be really careful. That's good. Focus on the space now. Left knee in the middle of the space. That's it. Don't look at the sides. Focus on the centre. Same here. Be in the centre. Oh, that's lovely. Well done. Right in the middle there. It's narrow too.
Yeah.
See the oncoming car?
Uh-huh.
Reduce speed and help them in this gap. Don't go towards the roadworks. I'm just going to help with the steering there. Clutch down and wait. Brake. Stop. Now they're giving you space. You won't know they're coming, so wait and stay here. And then when it's safe, check your mirrors and carry on. So you see the mistake you made there. You saw the problem and you went left. Look forwards now. You're going towards that van as well. Go in the middle here. It's as I say, it's a normal reaction, normal learner reaction of oncoming car, oncoming problem. Let's steer left.
Yeah.
It needs to be slow down and think about where you can wait, where they can wait. Not get super close to the parked car. Don't be near this black car on the left. Go in the centre now. There's not room for two cars here, so they need to wait for you, and you go in the centre and make sure they know that. What's the speed limit here? Do you know?
30?
It is actually, but it becomes 20 on that bend up there.
Oh, okay.
You can't really see the sign. They've been quite cheeky with it. They've put it over the wall, and you have to be looking at the planes to see the 20 sign.
Outrageous.
But they do write it on the road later. You see the signs?
Yes.
It says keep right. Is there anyone coming?
Yes.
Use speed. Now that's it. Brake. More brake. Stop here now. And I'm just going to help you steering. Look, go to the right. First gear. And they're waiting for you, so you should go. Now they should wait for you because we're on the major road,
Okay.
but they might not, so be ready. So I'll just say thank you. I like this position. You're not super close to the parked cars for no reason. Are there oncoming cars at the moment?
No.
So use the space wisely. At the end of the road, I would like you to go left. Now as you get to the end, try to focus on the curve of the curb that you've got to go around.
Okay.
So you don't hit it or be too far away from it. Focus on that before you decide if you can go. Try and get round it as best you can. That's good. Good start. And then as you pull out, make sure you stay in your half of the road. Beautiful. Bang in the middle, well done. Next road left. Harder this time. You can jog it. It's quite a narrow entrance though, see that? Look at your half. Try and get this car in your half. Left knee in your half. Don't think about the sides, just think about the middle. Lovely, see? Bang on. And that's not easy. It's a narrow one with a knuckle bend.
Okay.
We've practiced knuckle bends before, haven't we? Where they're really sharp, you've got to get round them. Now I feel like we're more left than we need to be. I'll just be in them. That's better. There's no one coming. Let's not drive up towards that parked car and steer at the last minute. Let's get out in the middle. Now, mirrors and help the oncoming car come through. If there's room for you to go at the same time, you should allow that to happen. Although they're deciding not to, which is fine. Oh, they're coming now. So I've demonstrated coaching, or at least what I think coaching is. I am rusty, but it was the method that I focused on when I became a driving instructor back in 2009. I even did a year's course on it, a BTEC level 4. I've also demonstrated instructing, and I've demonstrated what I do. Basically, I think it's an amalgamation of the two, or it's just what I've developed, the learning or teaching style I've developed over the last 14 years of being a driving instructor. Question is, what one does Charlotte prefer? Now, I don't want you to think about my feelings here. I don't want you to just tell me your honest opinion.
Don't worry, I won't.
Good. Yeah. What do you prefer? Do you prefer coaching, more of the coaching orientated side of asking questions and getting you to work it out for yourself? Or do you prefer more the instructing method where you're told what to do and you're given advice more than questions? What do you reckon?
See, I don't like the questions.
No?
No, I just feel put on the spot sometimes.
So you prefer to
yeah.
be told what to do? Is that your preference?
Yeah, but then that also feels lazy.
That feels lazy, does it? So maybe a little bit of both?
Yeah, a bit of both. So
Yeah.
more or less your technique then? Is that kind of your technique? A bit of both?
Well, I tend to only ask a question if I've told you. I like to only ask if I've told you before,
Okay.
and to see if you can remember. But sometimes, if it's simple, I'll ask if you can figure it out. But if it's something that I've seen happen hundreds of times before, and I know why my customer is doing it, I know, oh, this is what's happening because of this. I've seen it before. I just like to tell them.
Okay.
So you're more erring on the side of instructing,
Yeah.
but you do like a little bit of questions as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's Charlotte's opinion. Why don't you let me know yours? Everybody's different. Let me know in the comments. I made this video to show that there are different teaching styles out there. Not all instructors are the same. In fact, no two instructors are exactly the same. So if you're struggling to learn to drive, then it may be an idea changing your instructor to see if someone else can help you. When the teaching style suits the pupil, not only is the pupil more likely to make progress, but also the instructor's going to be happier too, so they're more likely to give a better lesson. It's not only the teaching style that can differ though, but also the teaching method. For example, some instructors get their pupils to do handbrake starts every time they move away, whereas I only advise a handbrake start on a hill. I think it's good that we're different though, because if someone is struggling to learn to drive and all instructors are exactly the same, then they have no option. They can't be like, oh, I'll go elsewhere because they might be able to help me. No, they can't, because it's going to be the same. So the fact that we're diverse, I think it helps. It gives the pupil more choice, more options. But the goal is always the same, and that's to be safe and legal. Some instructors believe that we have to use the coaching method to pass the test to become a driving instructor, and to pass the test that we have to take throughout our career to continue to be a driving instructor. And that's because part of that test is to encourage pupils to analyse problems and take responsibility for their own learning. And yes, coaching is better at fulfilling that tick box. But it is only one tick box out of 17, and you can still fulfill that as an instructor. You can still instruct someone and encourage them to analyse problems and take responsibility of their own learning. It's just a different way of doing it. For me these days, coaching isn't an outright method, it's more another tool in my toolbox, my imaginary toolbox filled with methods to help people. As I get more experienced, I get more methods, more tools, and therefore I'm able to help more people. Well, I hope you found this video helpful and interesting. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're looking for car insurance, check out the links to Collingwood and Confused in the description. If you're learning to drive and want to insure yourself on somebody else's car, then Collingwood are there for you, because you can do so without affecting the owner's policy. And that takes away a big stress from the owner of that car that you're using to practice your driving in. Via the link at the moment, there's up to 35% off and a £20 Amazon gift card. If you want to insure your own car, I recommend checking out the link to confused.com, because you fill out one quote form and get loads of quotes back to compare who's cheapest. But also, you can change your car on that quote as many times as you like without having to do the whole quote again. So you just change the car and recalculate, and then you get loads of new prices for that car. So it's a quick and easy way to compare how much it costs to insure different cars. Using the links doesn't cost you anything, but it does support the channel, so thank you very much. Subscribe to get my future videos, and until the next one, cheerio.